Hi guys, it's Jessie Holton here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator for Australia, jessieholton.com. Thank you for joining me for another crafting video today. I'm super excited to be part of the global video blog hop, and I hope that you enjoy hopping around and seeing everybody's beautiful projects. So I'm going to use the new Tags in Bloom stamp set, which is part of the upcoming celebration, the new celebration products that are about to be released at the start of March. So this is a little sneak peek for you, and if you would like to get this stamp set, it is free for you with an order of $180. So I'm also using the new foil DSP designer series paper, which is another new product from the upcoming celebration second release. So both of these products will be available from the start of, or the 2nd of March, I think. And this one is free with a $90 order, and you actually get a whole pack of it. It's 12 by 12 inch paper, and there are 12 pages, 3 designs, and 4 of each. So you get this beautiful rose, you get this really cool grid sort of style, and then there's a more of a like a, oh, there's 4 patterns. Oh, look at that. So there's 3 each of 4 patterns. There's this geometric silver flower pattern, and then I didn't know that this one was hiding at the back. So this is a beautiful little sort of daisy. Gorgeous. And these are rose gold and silver. So very, very pretty. And anyone who knows me knows I love copper and rose gold. So I am in heaven with this beautiful paper. And you can see that I've already cut up a whole bunch. I'll give you a little snippet of some other projects that I've made using this. So it's a little card here, and I've also decorated the inside of the card with some of those snippets from around the edge. The front is actually decorated with edge pieces as well, so there's no wastage there. And that stamp is from the Layered with Kindness. I've also made a little heart box, a little pillow box, and a little paper bag. So very, very cute. And we have lots of products because it's rose gold and silver. It goes with so many things in our collection. So these are the new champagne rhinestones. This is the petal pink ribbon, metallic edge ribbon, and that is a champagne colour on the edge of that as well. The paper bags are copper, have copper on them. Again, I've used the petal pink with champagne and the champagne rhinestones. But copper, champagne and rose gold are all very, very similar hues. So, and on here I've used the copper dots from the design elements. So it is very, very, very easy to match up some beautiful products from our existing range with these gorgeous new products. And I love, love, love this set because it does actually coordinate. Geez, I went blank there for a minute. It does coordinate with these 2 punches that go with the Layered with Kindness stamp set. So there's Label Me Fancy and Label Me Lovely. This is Label Me Lovely. So I am going to make a gorgeous little card today. I'm going to show you some quick tips on using the blends, or how I like to use them anyway. They're great pens because you can really use them. You can just find your style with them, and you know, they're very easy. They're very adaptable because they blend into each other. They're very, very easy to work with. So I have found that the less time I take and the less care I put in, the better my project ends up looking with the blends. So I try to not try too hard. So I'll give you some quick tips here on how I do it. I'm going in with the dark Poppy Parade, and I'm just doing some very rough outlines. Might as well finish that flower, hey? And I just sort of follow around the outlines where I think the shadows would be, so, or the darker petals would be. And then I go in with the light, and I tend to switch up between whether I'm using the brush end or the ball tip. I think it depends on my mood. But I just very, very, very rough go over the top, and this paper can be a little bit difficult to see because of the glare off the foil, but it is so pretty. It's worth the effort. There you go. And so you can go back in and go over areas that you feel if you need it, but that way I find that I get just some sort of arty kind of shadow in there. I'm not a professional in any means whatsoever at colouring, so I just go for the artistic impression. So this is the dark shaded spruce, and I'm coming in with the light shaded spruce. And if you're going for the artistic look, then it doesn't matter if you go outside the lines a little bit, because, you know, that's just how it's meant to be, right? Anyway, so that is a really quick tip on how I do my colouring. I'll just finish off this flower with a little bit of Daffodil Delight, and that's the dark, and go back over it with the light. And that is it. That is all I do. So here is a full sheet that I've coloured using those same colours. Poppy Parade, Shaded Spruce, Daffodil Delight, and I've gone in with Mint Macaron for the background. And this piece is already cut to 14.5 by 10.1 centimetres. And just going to grab a little piece of Poppy Parade design cardstock. Gee whiz, I'm losing the plot this morning. I've already pre-cut this, so this is half of an A4 sheet. It's cut at 14.85 and scored at 10.5, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that straight on there. So another thing with the blends, you can see here that the blends have bled through to the back of the paper. So if you're colouring directly onto the cardstock, you want to make sure that it's layered so that you don't see it on the inside of your card if you do stamp directly onto the cardstock. Okay. Now I just think that this stamp set is so pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of Whisper White cardstock. And I've just got a scrap here that I'm using. This is a brand new stamp set that we're breaking in today. What are the sentiments that we've got here? Oh, there's a couple of really nice ones, isn't there? I'm going to go, happiness looks gorgeous on you. I think that works well. I call everybody gorgeous. All my team members give me crap for it. But that's alright. Oh, is that going to fit on there? I think I might stick that on a bigger block. That'll do. I wonder if this one fits inside that one. Can we layer them up? It looks slightly smaller, doesn't it? Here we go. I should be able to tell on here. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Okay. Done. Let's do that. And I'm just going to let that stamp flop down so that it gets itself straight. Okay. Let's get in here with some heat embossing. Can you guess what colour heat embossing I'm going to use? Do I even own any other colour heat embossings? So I might do I'm going to heat emboss that copper. I'm going to get some mint macaron. And then I'm going to heat emboss that. I'm on my head for a second, guys. Let's get that lined up semi-straight at least. Okay, so because this mint macaron ink is fresh, I'm hoping that a tiny little bit of copper embossing powder will stick. So I'm going to go in quick before it totally dries, and hopefully we get a little bit of sticking there. Got a little bit, not much. Now I have got a little bit of, looks like maybe some glue or something that's on this page here, but I'm going to stick this on top, so I'm not going to worry about it. You won't be able to see it. Alrighty, and excuse the noise for 1 second while I set this with the heat tool. And if you hold your project towards the light, you can actually see the powder melting. It makes it much easier to, you know, go along and set it all without burning it, without overheating it. Because once it's overheated, it loses its glossy look and it starts to turn a bit matte again, which can be a really cool look if that's what you're going for. But we want glossy today. Okay. How cute is this? Alright, I am going to dip in here with I might actually stamp the ink colour over the top. I don't want to colour over the top of this heat embossing because the blends actually dry across the top of the heat embossing, which is a really cool trick. You can heat emboss white on black cardstock and then colour over it with your blends, and then you get coloured heat embossing on the black cardstock and it pops. Looks really cool. But I'm going to stamp these little images. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in with a blender. Let me have a dig around. Where are my blends? There they are. I'm going to pop in with a blender pen to colour these. Okay, so I want shaded spruce. I've already got my poppy, my mint macaron, and I'll do some poppy parade as well. Eeh. That is jammed. There we go. Might actually just use off the lid. Okay, grab my colour off the lid, and that way I'm not dipping my pen directly into the ink pad, so I get a little bit more control over how much colour I get on my brush. And just put a fresh dab on here. And daffodil. Okay. So let's start with a little bit of Poppy Parade. So the blender pens are full of alcohol ink, like an alcohol mixture. So what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing a tiny little bit of ink, starting at the base of the petal and moving my way up. And because of the alcohol ink in the pen, it automatically lightens up as you go further away. So it puts the darkest colour on where you touch initially, and then it gets lighter as you go. And you can just scribble it out on a piece of scrap paper, and then you're right to pick up your next colour. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of shaded spruce, and I'm just going to do down the centers of these leaves. And I'm going to finish the job with a bit of mint macaron, just so that I get that mix of colours to match the colours that I've put on the piece that I coloured in, the piece of designer series paper. I'm not being as careful with the petals, with the leaves, sorry, because leaves sort of tend to have a bit more variance of colour throughout them, whereas petals sort of, you know, have an order. So I'm just going to go straight over with that yellow, and then I'm going to come back in and do some darker bits on the spots just to add a bit of variance in there. Okay, that's it. They're good to go for next time. You don't need to clean your lid. You can leave it as it is because it's not going to mix with a different colour or anything, and it probably won't even touch the pad. And it'll be sat there, and you can add a little bit of water to it next time if it dries up, and you can reuse that ink that is sitting on your ink pad for your next watercolouring project. Okay, so now I've got this beautiful and I've stamped it in the wrong direction. Deary me. Alrighty, that's okay, we can work with this. So I'm going to cut this off, and we'll cut this out a bit nicer. Trying to get that lined up nice and even. That'll do. And let's give this a little snip. Silly me doing it on the side. It's okay. It'll look cute on the side. So my biggest tip with fussy cutting, and this is thick Whisper white cardstock, so it is just a little bit harder to cut. But I like to leave a little bit of a border, not cut right up to the image. It's a bit similar to what a die would do, or even the punch. The punch has left a border around the edge of that image. So I think it looks more like it's been cut with a die if you leave that little border, and less like it's been fussy cut. And it also gives you a chance to hide any little accidents you might have. So if you cut it a little bit too wide, you can always come in and neaten it up, round off the corners and soften it up. But if you cut it really close, then you've got no backup plan. Okay, that'll do. So we're going to stick this on. I think we're going to do it this way instead, like that. And that is really pretty, but I feel like it's blending a bit too much. Have a look at some doilies. Maybe we'll stick a little doily behind there. I'm thinking this. that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Lovely. So we'll add some dimensionals. And cover up that little bit of mess there from whatever I had on the paper beforehand. That is pretty. Alright, and I'm just going to use these longer bits because I want it to pop in between the doily. So this way I can make sure that some of the dimensional is sticking through the doily and onto the card, and hold them both in place without having to add any glue to the back of the doily, because you know that is so tricky. I always get glue everywhere. I get glue all over my fingers and glue all over the card and glue all over the doily. So I'm just going to lightly press that, and you can see where the dimensionals are showing through in between the doily, and that is going to stick to the card. Done. Lovely, lovely. And I think I might use some of these guys, because I think a little diamante on this card would just get lost. So I'm going to go something a bit bigger, and I'm going to go for the silver ones because I've already got a ton of copper. Done. And it's not often that I do a card that doesn't have some ribbon on it, but I think this card is certainly pretty enough. Anyway, that is that. I hope that you have enjoyed watching me make this card with these beautiful new products. We've got the, what's it called? Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper, and the Tags in Bloom stamp set. Both of these products will be available in the second release celebration, so available from the start of March, the 2nd of March I think. And then I've also used the Label Me Lovely punch, which is a coordinating product for the Layered with Kindness. There we go. So this has two stamp sets, two punches that coordinate with it. The Label Me Lovely and also the Label Me Fancy, which is this little tag shape here. So anyway, that is that. I hope that you have enjoyed my project. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the hop around the rest of the crew. It is a global video global video hop. So there will be some blog posts scheduled alongside, but the main point is to get you going through YouTube. So I hope that you enjoy this new way of doing it. I hope it's a bit of fun for you, and I look forward to seeing you back next month for another hop. And if you live in Australia and you would like to shop with me, please come visit me at jessieholton.com or get in contact with me and I will help you out. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. This is Jessie Holton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for Australia, signing off.